everybody? It's Dr. Glow here with Black Girl Everything. We're here with another mini expo for season 7. And I have one of my great friends here to share some of the greatness about her organization, her brand. So, lovely lady, tell everybody what your name is.
Hi, everyone. My name is Joselina Ramos, and I am the founder, owner of Pielde Caramelo.
Amazing. Cecily is a beautiful queen that I've had the pleasure doing work with Momentum that I talk about all the time on here. So she's one of my Momentum sisters. So I'm happy to have her this evening to talk about her brand. So tell me, when did you start this brand?
I started Pielde Caramelo back in pandemic time in 2020.
Yeah, that's when I started Black Girl Everything too. So what brought it about for you?
Yes. Really like everyone else, just actually having time while we were in lockdown to do everything. And just out of a passion of wanting to disrupt that conversation of beauty and what that looks like and further stop the erasure of Afro-Latinas in media, in fashion, and in just like, just social media as well, that we keep seeing. Reggaeton and all the things that where we can make a stand, where we can be heard and be seen and celebrated, and we're not. As well as in, cinema and media, things of that nature, we're not really seeing too much of any acknowledgement of Afro-Latinas and what the standard of beauty for Latinas looks like. Not everyone looks like J-Lo or Sofia Vergara. We do look like Celia Cruz. We do look like Rosario, we do look like Zoe Saldana. We do look like Lazaro. We look like that, and
Mhm.
people need to know that that Latinos don't just are not a monolith either. They don't just have light skin and straight hair. We are Black people, and a lot of us are Black as far as
Mhm.
skin tones are concerned. And we deserve to be seen in that light as well and considered beautiful in that light because we're of all shades and colors.
Yeah, I agree. So I'm also married to a beautiful Afro Latina, so I totally get it. And she talks a lot about to me about when she was growing up because she does have darker skin. And when her father would come pick her up, even though he was Puerto Rican and had so much color, the assumption was that he wasn't Black. Or how could he be your father? And she just had to face a lot of that when she was growing up with that difference, even within her own family, because her skin tone was so much darker than some of her lighter cousins. It was always this distinction between there. So it's so interesting, even among people of color, where we have this existence of an issue of skin color with even within ourselves, which is I always find this to be so tragic, but it just really exists. So I'm happy to have you, and especially this month is being Hispanic History Month, celebrating our people out here. So back to your business, right? Tell people what do you do around fashion?
Sure. What I do around fashion? Well, I'm formally trained as a designer. So I am an aspiring couture bridal designer. So Piel de Caramelo is actually my urban brand, being that I am a girl from the Bronx, growing up in the 70s and 80s. So, and hip hop and salsa all around me. So this really comes from that, really comes from celebrating that girl, because the hood girls are still winning. You know what I mean? You don't have to be a product of your environment. You could be, wonderfully successful and amazing and still come from the hood and make amazing choices in life and move the world and shift the world. So that's really where Caramelo comes from. That translates to caramel skin, right? So we love to see how everyone in the world in fashion and in beauty is trying to copy that, right? We all know this, right? Everything that moves fashion and beauty and music comes from Black people,
Yep.
right? And furthermore, it's like you see our white counterparts or other cultures wanting to be what tan, wanting to be what of color, and it's like really about celebrating that beauty and owning that beauty in all of the shades that we come in, right? Toasted caramel, chocolate caramel, butter pecan caramel. So it's like, that's where this comes from. Really, it really um embracing our sexiness, the curves, the curls, the all of the things that make us urban fashion amazing, beautiful, sexy women. That's where it comes from.
All right, I love that. Because ain't nothing like a woman of all color.
Yes.
I'm about that all day long. So that's definitely dope. So in regards to like, so I know you make t-shirts and hoodies and things of that nature. So like, let's talk really about your bridal line, right? As we
Yeah.
talk about couture work in the bridal industry.
Yeah.
How challenging is it to tap into that as a woman of color?
It is, because the wedding industry as a whole and the bridal industry as a whole is super whitewashed, right?
Yeah.
And as a person that has been in luxury fashion and working in fashion for over 15, 17 years, it goes down to even just the DNA of brands, really, and when I speak about that, I mean like the production room. When the designs are actually produced, right, in the production room, the patterns are made, the mannequins themselves are not fit for Black women, are
Yeah.
not fit for women of color. They're really made for like vanity women from like the 1800s that are white, that don't inherently have curves, right?
Yeah.
And so even I've seen this with my own eyes, even when you have a very voluptuous woman, right? You have to deconstruct the entire dress in order to make it fit her,
Yeah.
because her waist is her torso is shorter. She has a rounder derriere. She has a wider back. She has fuller breasts. Um, it doesn't, the makeup of the gown itself does not fit us, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my goal with my line, Joselina Caridad New York, which will be coming soon in about 2 years,
Mm-hmm.
because we are right now in the start of Bridal Fashion Week. Bridal Fashion Week New York just started yesterday. What you will see coming forth with African brands that are coming up, Australian brands that are coming up,
Mm-hmm.
Latin brands that are coming up, is that the mannequins, the actual fit of the gowns are made to fit women of color, are made to fit women that are curvier. For me, that is a big forefront in my design and in my line, because
Mm-hmm.
I don't want my customers to have to go through 10 rounds of alterations for them to
Yeah.
feel beautiful, for them to feel like, wow, somebody thought of me and how I look and what my body looks like and the styles that I like, right? Everything on Pinterest and on social media, and just like I said, in the wedding market is extremely whitewashed. You don't see any color, any traditions, anything that
Mm-hmm.
has to do with how we celebrate weddings, how we celebrate unions and matrimony. You see nothing of that, right?
Yeah.
It is something like that. It's almost taboo, and it's almost like, oh, this is a Black owned brand, or it can't be just wedding. And that's what I'm looking to change. I'm looking to really disrupt that conversation and change that, because weddings are not, they don't have any gender, they don't have any color, they don't have any,
Mm-hmm.
and it's about time we stop this, because, not every bride wants to get married in a barn and have beach wave hair.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, the brides
Yeah.
I know like to party and want to get married in a mansion or on a
Mhm.
beachfront or a friend's beautiful home with a waterfall in the back, and you know what I mean? And they might have dreads, they might have braids, they might have, updos of, faux locks or something,
Yeah.
that's what they might have. And I'm looking to cater to her, because we have enough brands that cater to the beach waves and blondes and the barns.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. That was a mouthful, and I agree 1000%. Because even when you're looking at media, a lot of even when the bridal books, if you ever really look at them, even when we were getting married, I glanced at some of that stuff, and I was just like, oh, okay,
Yeah, exactly.
no.
Exactly.
No. Mm,
That's not how we like to celebrate. You know, even in Africa, I mean, it is a monumental celebration for people to get married. And
yeah.
just the way they do things there
Hmm.
is just so different. And in other parts of the world as well, like all the melanated countries, it is a major multi-day thing. You know, the way it happens here in the US and in Europe, it is just so like you just said, so like, you know,
Yeah.
um, after reading countless articles and studying traditions of different countries and different cultures, you know, I came across one very interesting article that was really fun to read of a wedding that happened here in the US in the South. And
Hmm.
a guest was the person that was being interviewed, and she was of Nigerian descent. And she was invited, and she read the invitation that says black tie wedding, right? This is
Okay.
black tie, which you know, another thing that we can get into. People don't know what these the levels of formalities are. Black tie
Hmm.
means tuxedos and gowns, right? It does not
Exactly.
mean a dress with a slit up to your thigh, or dresses that come to your knees. That is not black tie. So she read the invitation. It says black tie. So she came dressed in her ceremonial gala gown from Nigeria. She
Hmm.
outdressed everybody to a point where the guests felt uncomfortable, to a point
Mm,
where the bride felt like she outshined her. This is what I'm talking about.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Just because you like to do things, or here in this country, people like to do things very understated, very like blah, that does not mean that everyone else does it that way. And if you tell me black tie, I'm going to come dressed to the nines. That means opera length gloves. That means a gown. That means my partner is wearing a beautiful tailored tuxedo. We're
Hmm.
going to come dressed appropriately. And so she was happy to go to this occasion, gave a gift to the couple and everything. And she was quite surprised when she got some backlash after the wedding, that people thought that she was, you know, kind of like trying to overshadow the guests and the couple. And I'm just like, yeah, this is why representation matters.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is exactly
Yeah.
why.
No, I can totally dig it. I can totally dig it because sometimes I think people it's gonna come down to fashion because we have these trends that go through and people like to get very trendy about everything, and it's like no one really shows up because
Yeah,
it's not necessarily the trend to
correct.
show up like
Correct.
dressed a certain way or have certain things in your closet. You kind of just go with what's current versus
Mhm.
what's actually appropriate. So that makes complete sense to me. I probably would have loved to see your outfit. That's me because I like don't tell me I got to get dressed for something. I'm like, well, how? What is that
Okay,
wearing? Because this is what
exactly.
I'm putting on.
I'm putting this on, you know? And I just, you know, I felt in that moment, I felt so deep for her, you know what I mean? I
Yeah.
felt like so bad. And I'm just like, you know what? Yeah, life is the occasion. You know,
Hmm.
this country will have you feeling like, you know, wait for this or save for that. Life is the special occasion. There is nothing wrong with dressing yourself well. As in the famous words of Tom Ford, dressing well is a form of good manners. You know what I mean?
Mm,
It is, this is exactly what we live for. Like we, you know, every day is a blessing that you wake up and you have
yeah.
and you take a breath and you were actually blessed enough to open your eyes. So why not dress for it? You know? Um, so for me, both in my urban collection and my couture collection, those are things that I take with me and I translate them into my work. I want you to feel all the bits of sexy, all the bits of like, I'm the main character when you walk down the street in my
Yeah.
stuff, you know? And it's like, yeah, let people read the message across your chest or across your back or on your arms, because you
Hmm.
are the celebration, you know? Absolutely, you are the celebration. You know,
No, I
people are
think
out
that's
here, like
dope.
one of my very, very close friends, when
Uh-huh.
sometimes I get down on myself about my naturally curvaceous body, you know, that I may look a little bit, you know, out of place, or does this not fit me properly? She's like, girl, people pay to look like you.
Word.
You know?
I
And
don't.
sometimes we got to remind ourselves of that. Like we are the freaking blueprint. So why not
Yeah.
celebrate that? Why not wear things that, make us feel comfortable and accentuate those things, right?
Hmm.
So Pierde Caramelo is all about that. It is about empowering, celebrating, and representing Afro-Latinas and women of color, and having those sayings and those, you know, um, colloquialisms that actually make sense to us and
Hmm.
bring joy to us.
Yeah, I think that's all dope. That's all dope. So if somebody wanted a custom gown, are you doing that
Yes,
type of work at this point?
yes, yes, definitely. My gowns, I need production time can run anywhere from 3 to 7 months.
Okay.
Depending on the design and the fabrications. And then as basically as with any other couture designer, we'll come with a concept first, we'll agree on that concept and then have several fittings, have a muslin fitting, have a full muslin trial before
Mhm.
actually cutting into fabric and starting to construct the gown.
Oh wow, that sounds like work.
It is a lot of work, absolutely.
Definitely do. But people have a custom
A
gown,
lot
so I
of
love
work.
that idea. I love things that are custom, things that are one of a kind that you just can't replicate. That
Nope.
yeah, I have it, I own it, and it's mine.
And it's mine. And
Yeah.
that is the history of a couture house, right? People tend to in our society now, we tend to throw the word couture around when we actually mean custom, right?
Mm.
And couture, that's exactly what couture means, right? So if I were to be making Gloria a gown, right? Um, and or rather, you saw a gown from my collection, I can make Gloria that gown, but here in the US, Gloria would be the only one owning that gown
Yeah.
because that's what couture means, right? Only 1 to 2 people are allowed to own that piece in a said region, right? And
Got it.
couture does mean like literally custom made to your body, right? So it's
Mm.
your measurements, it's your body, that it is that gown that was bought off the runway or off the collection. And so obviously you're going to wear this, you're going to be photographed, people are going to see you. So there
Mhm.
is not going to be anybody saying, oh yeah, look at her, I got that dress too. Nope. Maybe one other person in the entire country can say that, but that's it. Anyone else would be outside of your region because we want to keep the integrity of the brand and we want to keep that like very exclusive, very select, very elite type of reputation.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's what
Sounds like my
couture
type
means.
of reputation.
Yeah, that's what couture means. That does not mean custom, which is what a lot of people think that couture means. It's two different things.
Well, thank you for that history lesson. Well, that clarification, I should say, because now I
Yeah,
understand for myself. But
for sure.
so, how can people actually purchase your products now?
Right now, they can DM me or it's just like very small, um, very word of mouth for the couture bridal pieces. As far as my urban collection, that you can definitely order on www.pieldecaramelo.com. Everything is on there. Season 4 is going to be launching in a day or two. So definitely this
Ooh.
audience is the first to know. I saved this information just for that. Yeah, definitely by this Saturday, we will be launching our 4th collection, our 4th season will be out for Piel de Caramelo and it is growing. So we are adding accessories, home pieces. So definitely it's turning from a clothing brand to a lifestyle brand, where you can have Piel de Caramelo in your life in different ways other than on your body.
That is amazing. Congratulations.
Yo,
Well, I'm
thank
excited
you.
about that. So, as people be able to watch this video, for those who also going to watch the playback, it's going to live on the Black Girl Everything YouTube channel. And I'll make sure I put your website link inside the caption so everybody be able to click that very easily to make purchases of your new products. That's
Yeah.
dope.
Thank you.
I'm
Thank you
excited,
so
excited,
much.
excited. So, where do you see
Be
yourself
sure
in
to go
5
get some
years?
stuff. What's that?
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Okay, so that 5-year question.
Yeah.
So by that time, I will be about 3 years in to my couture brand.
Yep.
Um, I am aiming to debut in 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be about 3 years into that. So you would definitely be seeing me in New York Bridal Fashion Week twice a year, and
Mm-hmm.
most likely Paris Bridal Fashion Week, um,
Mm.
twice a
So are
year.
we declaring that, or we just
We
declaring?
absolutely are declaring that.
Thank you.
We
Let's declare it clearly.
absolutely
So
are
you'll be at
declaring that.
Paris Bridal Week in like 2 years?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
and in 2 years, we should be in at least five stores with Pielde Caramelo.
Mm-hmm.
Naming the first one, declaring that first one being Target. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, we're looking to make some moves, and all those things are in the process. Actually, we were just featured last weekend. We have a current collaboration with the Lochnificent Day Fest. So Lochnificent is a day fest that celebrates Loch culture.
Ooh.
And this year's theme was Diaspora Connection. So again, speaking on exactly that, on being Afro-Latino
Mm-hmm.
and really celebrating that and what that looks like, we were one of the featured brands. So we had
Mm-hmm.
a limited edition tee and other pieces that are part of that collaboration with Lochnificent. And you can also get that on my website.
That is dope. That is dope. Well, I'm excited about all that great stuff. So again, tell people where they can find you on social media.
Yes. So we are at pieldecaramelo.com. That's our main website. And we are also at Pielde Caramelo _ on IG and Pielde Caramelo LLC on TikTok.
All right, perfect. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in today on this amazing interview with Joselina. So exciting. Until next time, everybody. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.
Thank you.